I love JoJo's. Can't get enough of it. Truly one of the greatest mangas of all time. And the only thing that rivals the brilliance of this masterpiece is its community. Sure, there's a bad egg here and there every now and then, but on the whole, the fandom is smart, charming, passionate, and funny. There are certain beacons in the community, such as xForts, Kaleb I.A, and even certain channels that don't necessarily make JoJo's content, but still celebrate its greatness. And these beacons of the community shine a great beam of light on the franchise that I truly believe it deserves. But if I had to choose one JoJo's content creator that, at least in my opinion, contributed the most to my continued interest in JoJo's, it'd have to be my top NEP waifu, Shuckmeister. What can I say? The guy's funny, passionate, and really smart so far as I can tell. He'd be an exemplary member of any JoJo squad, be it the saviors of Wind Knight's Lot or the Hamon Masters, the Joke Stars of Part 2, the Stardust Crusaders, the Morio Protectors, Passione, etc., etc. Now I must admit, I'm partial to one particular content Shuckmeister releases, and it's not only what hooked me on his channel, but it's the topic of today's video, Shuckmeister's Stand Science videos. It's a fun video concept packed with good old Shuck-style JoJokes and some high-level maths and science. Way to go making use of your degree, bro. If I had to pick my favorite Stand Science video, it'd be his Objectively the Strongest Stand video, with Lightspeed Punch Star Platinum not far behind, especially because of the result of that video. I loved those videos so much I copied down every word he said verbatim so that I could recycle it back to my friends just to justify why I think Jotaro could beat fucking Kid Goku from Dragon Ball or some shit. Anyway, here I have the script still, and I was wanting to do a video talking about all the things I like about it, and give my little nitpicks, you know, give my 2 cents that nobody fucking asked for. Well, after that massive intro exposition dump, I think I'll do just that. Cue the intro.
Why do I feel like I linger between the words to say the words to remember.
Alright, so I guess I'll start off the bat with Star Platinum and his Lightspeed punches. So to start, jumping right into the meat and potatoes of the video here, Shuck starts with a great speed feat at what is practically the very beginning of Part 3, and Jotaro's most relatable moment for me. By using the time period and considering the occupation and location of the gun's owner, Shuck figures out the model of the gun used, how fast the bullet should be, and how fast Star Platinum would have to be to react to a point-blank shot, giving us a minimum reaction speed of about 100 miles per hour. And all within the very first episode as well. Now, discussing this about 100 mile per hour start minimum isn't exactly entirely necessary, as the gap between about 100 miles per hour and light speed is immense. But by explaining this minimum, Lightspeed Star Platinum seems more realistic to agree, more understandable and acceptable. If, with Jotaro only having had him for just a bit of time, Star Platinum can react at about 100 miles per hour, about 20 years of experience and growth resulting in light speed movement definitely becomes easier to swallow. In short, he's adding credibility to his argument. Next, he moves on with a quick transition into the important part, Daddy Jotaro and the guidebook for Part 6. With this shift, he begins to discuss how the guidebook states that Star Platinum the world can move at light speed, and then Shuck explains why something with mass, such as Star Platinum, cannot move at light speed without infinite energy, and gives examples to make his case with the Hadron Collider. And this is exactly one of my nitpicks with the video. Shuck says that because something can't move at light speed without infinite energy, Star Platinum must really be moving at 99% the speed of light, or 0.99c. While this holds true in real life, JoJo's is not real life. While yes, Araki is fond of using real-world science and mechanics to describe how certain powers work, guidebook statements and author statements are word of God. If it says Star Platinum moves at light speed, he moves at light speed, however impossible it may be in real life. Now, it is my understanding that the videos are less about how fast Star Platinum is in JoJo's, and more about how fast he'd be in real life using real-life maths and science. But the phrasing makes it unclear, so I'd just like to make note of the fact that this is a fictional verse, and however realistic, it is not bound by real-life concepts. In any case, beyond this, Shuck implements a formula. The equation e squared equals p squared times c squared plus m squared times c to the fourth to get the answer to the question of the video: how fast is Star Platinum? In order to get momentum, or p, Shuck had to find mass and velocity. Well, velocity was 0.99c in his video, even though in actuality for the JoJo verse it'd have been 1c or higher. And as a lowball, he uses Jotaro's fist's mass, which I think should be okay. After getting the momentum, the rest of the equation was a simple plug and play. He plugs in his variables for e squared equals p squared times c squared plus m squared times c to the fourth, and comes out to about 8 million tons of TNT converted from joules. And that's a lowball of just about everything. Speed, probably mass, and momentum. And there lies my second issue. Again, my point is moot if this is just under the pretenses that this only applies to a theoretical real-life Star Platinum, but as far as 8 million tons of TNT behind every strike, we do not ever see Star Platinum do anything to indicate he punches with this much power. I can give 5 separate instances of why Star Platinum would max out at about 0.8 tons to a ton of TNT, not 8 million. So most notably, Star Platinum should be greater than or equal to Stone Free of Part 6 in strength, who was able to deflect meteors while fighting Westwood. With some pixel scalings for size and some math for calculating potential and kinetic energy, the meteor's impact should come out to roughly 0.8 tons of TNT, the rough low ball I mentioned earlier. Not only that, but Star Platinum was able to overcome Magician's Red with general ease at the beginning of Part 3, who should be somewhat comparable to Stone Free's feat. He was able to overcome Silver Chariot while Silver Chariot was being amped by Anubis, and he was even able to overcome the World. To note, the World should be far superior to Dio in Part 3's own strength, as the World's near-perfect rival, Star Platinum, was able to cave Dio's head in with ease, just with a single punch. And in turn, Dio in Part 1, who is admittedly stronger than Dio in Part 3 until Part 3 Dio absorbs Joseph's blood and overcomes Jonathan's resistance, stands above Tarkus, which we know because Jonathan, Dio's near-perfect equal, fairly casually two-shot Tarkus post-Deep Pass Overdrive. And if Dio from Part 1 stands so far above Tarkus, that's pretty significant because Tarkus was capable of splitting a cliff in half with a single strike, which, with pixel scaling and math yet again, was discovered to be about 0.756 tons of TNT, making Tarkus roughly comparable to the 0.8 tons of TNT feat Stone Free performed. That's 2 instances of people less than or equal to Star Platinum calcing at about 0.8 tons of TNT, and 2 instances with Chariot and Magicians of comparable opponents being defeated. Finally, during Part 4, even a weakened and still rusty Star Platinum shit on Killer Queen, who put up a decent fight against Crazy Diamond, who, in turn, managed to break through Star Platinum's guard. Looks to me like about a ton of TNT is a tad more consistent within JoJo's than 8 million tons of TNT. So, with Star Platinum and his Lightspeed antics out of the way, let's talk about what I believe to be Shuck's greatest video. With maybe his stand tier list videos, or his recent-ish JoJo political chart videos close behind, objectively the strongest stand. Let me go on record right now and make this clear. I 100% agree with Shuck. There are ways to beat Toyohiro, and there are ways to avoid losing to Superfly, but I can't think of a way to beat Superfly. It reflects strength on the level of Crazy Diamond. It can reflect hacks like Okayasu's existence erasure from Zahando! And it has its imprisonment ability, which is quite effective on everyone, as no one would know about it until they've experienced it. Maybe if you fight 2-on-1 like Josuke and Okuyasu did, you'd be able to figure it out like they did, but if it's just you, you walk in and you're trapped. Superfly is practically unbeatable in a one-on-one encounter. Now with that out of the way, let's discuss the video. So Shuck starts in a typical Shuckmeister fashion with an explanation of Tower of Grade 2.0's ability. After mentioning its occupant restraint ability, he goes on to explain metal plating and the process of galvanizing to explain Superfly's ability's real-world equivalent. And this is another awesome thing that I love about Shuck's Stand Science videos. The man is knowledgeable on both the anime/manga and actual real-life knowledge. I feel entertained and like I'm learning something interesting when I watch his videos. In likening Superfly's occupant restraint to metal plating, he's very clever and gives himself an opening. In the metal plating process, he explains, you need 12 watts of power, 2 amps and 6 volts, which multiply to make 12 watts. Armed with the knowledge that 1 joule of energy equals 1 watt per second, the fact that Superfly completely covers the 5'11 Josuke instantly is insane, especially after remembering that Shuck mentioned this process should take 3 hours. Shuck plugs in these variables into an equation to find out the joules produced, and it would seem that Superfly instantly generates about 130,000 joules, or 0.00003 tons of TNT. After discussing this, Shuck starts in his strong finish with discussing Superfly's attack reflection. After giving us details about the likely statistics of the pylon, like weight, composition, etc., he goes on to bust out some big and shocking numbers. The amount of times Josuke and Okuyasu punched Superfly, with Superfly still being intact. Between the both of them, Shuck counted them to have hit Superfly roughly 1,000 times, about 500 times apiece, with Okuyasu occasionally using the hand to wipe pieces of Superfly out of existence. Now, if you think like I do, you may be thinking, that's all well and good, but it doesn't matter a lick if we know how many times they punched it, if we don't know how hard they punched it. But Shuck is so on top of shit, he answered your question before you even asked it. By using the feat of Crazy Diamond penetrating Josuke's mom, he was able to use skin and bone tensile strength and other variables to figure out that Crazy Diamond is out here slugging in a single hit with about 150,000 pounds of force. After a bit more calculating and applying what he's gathered thus far, Shuck came to the conclusion that, over the course of the assault, Superfly had taken 350 million newtons of force from Crazy Diamond and about 20 million newtons of force from the hand. And after all of his conversions were complete, the moment of truth had arrived. At this point, while I was initially watching, I was just about ready to nut. And then Shuck pulled the fucking trigger. The joule conversion of how much force Superfly tanked and reflected was about 1 billion joules, or about 0.2 tons of TNT by my estimate. Now, the interesting thing for me is that the result this time is actually a reverse of the Lightspeed punch video. The real-life equivalent of Superfly is actually weaker than it likely is on the show. Remembering that Crazy Diamond, and by extension the hand, should be about 0.8 tons of TNT per hit, Superfly should be overwhelmingly above a ton of TNT thereabout, but regardless, this video was fucking sick and I loved it. Well guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of Shuckmeister's videos. I'm a big fan of his and I really do enjoy his JoJo content, and I enjoy a lot of the JoJo content that I'm seeing from people like I mentioned earlier, Kaleb I.A and xForts. I really do enjoy JoJo content in general, and if you guys enjoy JoJo content and you want to see more of it on the channel, go ahead and let me know by leaving a like, and comment down below what you'd like me to review, what JoJo stuff you'd like me to talk about, and if you'd like to see the videos that I've been talking about in the video, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description down below, so you can go ahead and click on that. It should take you to these Shuckmeister videos, and you guys can see for yourselves how cool these Stand Science videos really are. I really do think that Shuck is an underrated YouTuber and needs more praise. So like I said, if you guys liked the video, leave a like. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed recording it. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. If you Want to know when I'm releasing my next video? Make sure you hit that subscription button and ring the notification bell so you'll be updated of all my new uploads, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Untitled